Today we're going to take a look at the history of the Nissan Skyline Super Silhouette from 1984 and see how it lands on our leaderboard after running our test track over on the Tokyo Expressway. The Nissan Skyline Super Silhouette is one of the most iconic and recognizable cars to emerge from Japan. Built to compete in the popular Fuji Grand Championship Series and the All Japan Sports Prototype Championship under the Group 5 Silhouette Formula regulations, this car became a motorsport legend thanks to the aggressive design, cutting-edge engineering, and dominance on the track. It also helped solidify Nissan Skyline's reputation as a high-performance machine, and this legacy continues to this day. The 84 Super Silhouette wasn't just a race car, it was a symbol of Nissan's motorsport prowess and an integral part of the Japanese racing scene during the early 80s. With its outrageous bodywork and blistering performance, it captured the imagination of fans and influenced the design of future Skylines and Nissan's other performance cars. In the late 70s and early 80s, Group 5 racing became a proving ground for manufacturers to showcase their engineering prowess. The regulations allowed for extensive modifications to production cars, including significant changes to the bodywork, chassis, and engine, as long as the basic silhouette of the production car was retained. This gave rise to the term Silhouette Formula. Group 5 cars became known for their extreme, exaggerated designs, featuring wide fenders, large wings, and aggressive aerodynamic features. These modifications were aimed at improving performance and handling, turning production cars into pure racing beasts that looked nothing like anything else on the road. For Nissan, this was an opportunity to develop a car that could dominate the track and boost the Skyline's image as a serious performance car. Nissan entered the Group 5 scene with a race car based on the R30 generation Skyline, specifically the DR30, which was known for its turbocharged engines and its aggressive styling. The Super Silhouette version of the DR30 was designed to push these traits to the extreme, transforming the car into a full-fledged racing machine that would compete at the highest levels of Japanese motorsport. The 1984 Skyline Super Silhouette was developed by Nissan's racing division, Nismo, and was powered by a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine that produced an astonishing 570 horsepower, an incredible figure for its time, especially given the car's relatively small engine displacement. This engine, the LZ20B, was a highly modified version of the 4-cylinder L-Series engine that Nissan had used in various production cars and race cars. It was paired with a 5-speed manual transmission that put the power down to the rear wheels alone. The Super Silhouette's body was heavily modified, featuring massive fender flares and an enormous rear wing, and a deep front aerodam. The wide body allowed for wider tires, providing more grip on the track, while the extensive use of aerodynamic elements helped improve the car's stability at high speeds. The car's low, wide stance and aggressive design made it look like a machine out of the future, and it quickly became a fan favorite thanks to its unique appearance and sheer performance. The Skyline Super Silhouette made its debut in the Fuji Grand Championship Series and the All Japan Sports Prototype Championship, competing against other powerful Group 5 cars from manufacturers like Toyota and Mazda. Driven by the legendary Japanese racer Masahiro Hasami, the car quickly established itself as a dominant force on the track. Hasami was a highly respected driver with the experience in various forms of motorsport, and his skill behind the wheel helped the Skyline Silhouette achieve great success. The combination of the car's raw power, advanced aerodynamics, and Hasami's driving ability made it one of the most competitive cars in the series in the 1984 series. Hasami piloted the Super Skyline Silhouette to multiple victories, cementing its reputation as a motorsport icon. The Skyline's success wasn't just about power, it was also a result of its advanced engineering. Nissan had developed a car that could handle the extreme demands of Group 5 racing with a chassis and suspension setup that allowed it to take full advantage of its powerful engine. The car's aerodynamic enhancements also played a crucial role in keeping it stable at high speeds, allowing it to corner with precision and maintain grip on the track. Beyond its racing success, the Nissan Skyline Super Silhouette became a cultural phenomenon in Japan and beyond. Its dramatic appearance made it a popular subject in magazines, posters, and even toy models. It also appeared in the popular Japanese Super GT video games, further cementing its place in motorsport and pop culture alike. The Super Silhouette cars, particularly the Skyline, are often seen as the inspiration behind the aesthetic of modern-day racing vehicles and prototype cars. The extreme wide-body look of the Skyline Super Silhouette influenced the design of later Skylines, including the R32 and R34 generations, which became legends in their own right. The wide, aggressive fenders, big spoilers, and turbocharged engines of these later Skylines owe much of the groundwork laid to this 1984 Super Silhouette. Although short-lived, the Super Silhouette series created a lasting impression on Japanese motorsport and car culture. Even after Group 5 regulations were discontinued, the legacy of the Skyline Super Silhouette continued to inspire car enthusiasts, racers, and engineers. The 1984 Skyline Super Silhouette became a symbol of Nissan's engineering prowess and racing spirit during one of the most exciting periods in motorsport history. Its combination of raw power, advanced aerodynamics, and striking design made it a dominant force on the track and an enduring icon in the world of automotive performance. The Skyline Super Silhouette helped keep the racing spirit of the Skyline present while we were missing out on a GTR badge. If you've made it this far, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. Now let's go ahead and bring this over to our Tokyo test track and see how it handles against the other cars we've previously tested. After fully modifying the Super Silhouette, it ended up with 743 horsepower and 528 foot-pounds of torque. The power comes in a little peaky, so you'll want to make sure you keep the RPMs up to take full advantage of the car's power. I actually noticed the peakiness of this engine a little bit more in the previous generations of the Skyline, where you can actually swap this race motor into the GTRs. The weight of the car came in at 2,216 pounds with a slight bias towards the front, and that ends up with the performance points hitting 775. Now, if you want to break it into some of the lower tiered races, you can just swap out tires and use the power restrictors and it'll fit just fine. The Super Silhouette had a tendency to push when I first took it out, and this was able to be adjusted away by adding more downforce to the front end and stiffening up the rear suspension. That makes the front end a little softer and a little bit more grippy in comparison. The Silhouette is very quick in the corners with this setup, but it does seem to run out of power on the straights, which I'm sure is partially due to the large front and rear wings. I ended up seeing the car top out around 190 miles per hour, and that was on our long straightaway. The fuel economy was pretty average, with the tank making it about 5 laps before we needed to refuel. And tire wear was actually pretty even on this car, even though it's rear-wheel drive. I saw both the front and rear tires wearing at about 20%. There's not much like this in the game other than this car, and the stripped out interior is a pretty neat place to be, so it's worth picking up. We ended up crossing the line at 1 minute 55 seconds, .672, which put it right behind the Rally Edition Peugeot 205 and just in front of the engine swapped 89 BMW M3. If you missed the Peugeot video, you can click it right up in whatever corner it's in and check that one out as well. Thank you guys, and have a great day.